Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here on the NOFSRL channel, and welcome to the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. We are here for the first of two races we're going to have at this racetrack in 2021. We're bringing back the 400 miler. We used to do this for a couple of seasons. I think season 4 and season 5 we had the 400 miler on the schedule. But now that they're bringing it back in real life, and it looks to be coming back full-time as well, which is awesome, we're going to bring it back as well for this season of the NOFSRL Cup Series. This is uncharted qualifying for the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 tomorrow at noon Eastern Time on AG Racing. Qualifying here at 4. Turkey Hill Series going to be here at 5 over on AG Racing. Looking forward to that. Same Turkey Hill hot seat drivers as last week, since there was not a Turkey Hill race last weekend. John Andrews in the number 2, Declan Wellington-Turner in the 21, Roberto Crown Jr. in the 29, Ben Grorich in the 32, RJ Bishop in the 52, Joey Hightower in the 55, Ben Crouch in the 76, Julio Cesar in the number 80. Top 2 fastest times advance on, and we'll race in tomorrow's 59-lap event here from the Lady in Black. Should be an interesting race tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to it. One of my favorite places to go to in NR. And, we had the finale here last year. It was a very, very interesting Southern 500 last year, and of course Southern 500 going to happen again this year. It will not be the finale, but it will be part of the chase. So these guys could definitely take a little bit of knowledge from this place and apply it to that chase race that we're going to have coming up in September. But right now it's the middle of May, a little bit different time of the year. Should be an interesting one for tomorrow's event. How about that? The top 2 guys so far tied. It'll more than likely not stay that way. There goes Ben Grorich to the top of the board. Now, this is one of those tracks where tire wear is very significant. As a matter of fact, the tire wear is more significant than the fuel usage at this place. And right when these guys pass halfway, they usually come in for tires regardless of what the fuel situation is. So it should be a very interesting race in terms of the tire wear. Definitely looking forward to see how that affects the outcome of tomorrow's race. 80 machine currently the fastest at is Julio Cesar. And we'll have to see what he can do in the number 80 machine on this lap if he can improve it. If he doesn't improve it, more than likely that's the time that's going to stick with him. And he did improve his time to a 1:22 right there. So he's still going faster, so the tires are still good. Of course, these guys only get 5 minutes in their session, so that definitely affects how well these guys run. When we get to the pole qualifying session, those guys get 10 minutes, so you know they're going to be experiencing tire wear later on in that session right there. So you definitely want to get your fast time in early on here at the Darlington Raceway. No doubt about it. Joey Hightower there in the 55 machine, now up to second, as Julio Cesar continues to improve his time in the number 80 machine. Of course, this 80 machine won a race earlier this year with Ashlyn Boyd behind the wheel at Auto Club. That was the second race of the season all the way back in February, so it was quite a while ago when this team won, but they've been doing an excellent job. They still lead in the owner's points because their full-time driver, Keegan Thompson, is still the points leader and has been the points leader for a majority of the season so far. 76 of Ben Crouch has gone and tied Julio Cesar, so they're the 2 fastest guys right now, so good job out of those drivers holding on to their advantage. And Joey Hightower is going to come down the pit lane right here, so his chances of making it are probably going to end right there. But Ben Crouch looking to make his 5th race of the season in this number 76 machine. That is almost half of the races. Something how this hot seat program has worked. Of course, obviously it benefits Ben Crouch that he ended up getting the hot seat from the Talladega race, and there wasn't a Turkey Hill race last week, so he got it for 2 straight weeks. But still, he has taken advantage of it, and it's looking pretty good for the driver of the number 76. Now, if somebody beats him, somebody goes ahead of both of those guys there, and there's a tie for second and third. The tiebreaker will be broken by Turkey Hill National Series points. We actually had that happen at Phoenix. That's how Dennis Stryker made his first start of the season in the Cup Series. But Ben Crouch looking to make his 5th start of the season in the Cup Series, if he can pull this off right here. Currently 42nd in Cup points. Will Parrish still has more points than he does. Of course, Will Parrish made 3 straight races in the number 21 machine and finished top 3 in all of them. Ben Crouch only has 1 top 10 so far this season in the Cup Series, but looking for another opportunity here at Darlington. And it looks like the times have definitely fallen off at this point. So that means that Ben Crouch and Julio Cesar are going to be racing in tomorrow's South Carolina Education Lottery 400 here from the Darlington Raceway, race 12 of the season. This marks the official halfway point of the regular season in the NOFSRL Cup Series as well. So 12 races down, 12 to go until we set the 10-driver chase, which will begin in late August with the Valvoline 400 at Daytona. So definitely looking forward to seeing that all unfold throughout the summer. It's going to be a fun summer for these guys in the NOFSRL Cup Series. They're going to have a couple weeks off, of course. And the All-Star race is coming up in 2 weeks as well for these guys. And a cash prize, an actual cash prize, is up for grabs for that one, like it was last year. Going to up it to $50 this year, so we're excited about that. Should be a very fun event coming up from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in a couple of weeks. But we got Darlington coming up this weekend, and we got Ben Crouch and Julio Cesar advancing on to the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. They're going to join the other 40 full-time drivers here to qualify for tomorrow's 59-lap event. Let's go ahead and see who gets the pole here from Darlington. And here we go, ready to set the starting lineup for the 12th race of the season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series from the Darlington Raceway. And it's going to be an interesting race tomorrow, 59 laps of action. Still a relatively long race, all things considered, especially considering the tire wear that these guys have. So, time-wise, it'll more likely go by faster than last week's race at Kansas did, but let's have to see how it all goes down. It's Darlington, one of the best tracks, one of the best original tracks in this game, hands down. As a matter of fact, we still use the original version of this track here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. There is no better version of this track than the original, and the original is excellent. Obviously, you see the red walls. Thanks to Trey Wright for doing all these tracks for us this season. We'll just have to see how this all goes down. I say that too much, but hey, it's my last season. Does it actually matter how good I do at this anymore? Logan Williams going to be the first guy out there, one of the first guys out there, or last winner here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Grabbed that race victory at the Kansas Speedway. And they did an excellent job in that race. And Logan Williams ended up starting third and was up front that entire event to pull off his first career NOFSRL Cup Series race victory. Not only that, he became, along with Eli Bright, because Eli Bright moved inside the top 10 in points, he became the first driver in quite some time to have a race victory and actually be top 10 in points. So Logan Williams is definitely someone to watch out for. He broke that glass ceiling for those consistent guys and finally going to victory lane. And I would definitely watch out for him as the season rolls along. He has been one of the most consistent drivers. And not only that, the past 2 seasons, the champion has been a rookie. Nathan Baer was a rookie in Season 8. Shane Lake was a rookie last year in Season 9. And even though we only have 11 full-time rookies this season, Logan Williams may be that one who gets that last NOFSRL Cup Series championship. He currently is the fastest guy here in qualifying, as stable and pounds the wall. And that's something you're going to see a lot of in the race tomorrow. But even though we see a lot of it, we actually tend to not see too many cautions here at Darlington. Even though we get so many guys smashing that outside wall, it's a very unique track, and they tend to not actually wreck that much, even though they really get their Darlington stripes going on here. Hey, just imagine if this track had safer barriers. We wouldn't be able to get around this place. That's partly why I like using the old version. The problem with a lot of the newer version of this track is that the safer barriers make it too narrow for the game to actually run it well. The fact that they have a little bit more room through the corners, it's still a 1.5 groove racetrack essentially. But the fact that they actually can essentially ride up that wall and they can go too wide through the corners definitely makes a huge difference, and definitely makes this track very fun to drive. 28, Jordan Lopez to the top of the board. Alexander Rowe has gone to second. Ryan Durrani, Nicholas Amadio, Fisher G, the top 5. These fast times are going to be early on in the session, and essentially once we get past halfway here in qualifying, that will essentially end it, because the tire is going to be too significant, only unless these guys come back down the pit lane, get some fresh good years, and come back out there. Ben Young up the third. Good run there for Ben Young in the number 5 machine. So it's Lopez, Rowe, Young. Andrew Miller just went up to 5th. It's been a tough season for Andrew Miller. Where is he in points? Oh, wait, it hasn't been that tough. He had a tough race last week. That's what it was, but not a tough season. 15th in points. He actually went into Kansas top 10 in points, I do believe, but Miller has fallen off a little bit from that. Still has done a good job this season. Fitzwater up to second. Fitzwater's won here before in the Truck Series, so watch out for Fitzwater. The only top 10 that Fitzwater has all season is his Daytona 500 win. It's been a very tough season for Fitzwater. Comes in 35th in points. Like I said, his only win, that Daytona 500. Lopez still the fastest. Then it's Fitzwater, Rowe, Ben Young, Ryan Durrani, Nathan Baird. Nathan Baird, and speaking of not having any top 10s, Nathan Baird is the only driver in the field without a top 10 this season. 11 races in, and he's yet to get one. He went from being the champion 2 years ago to whatever's going on here. But he's 6th fastest right now. Then it's the Zidell teammates all on each other. 24 of Andrew Miller, 48 of Nicholas Samadio, and the 7 of Fisher G. Then Owen Miles rounds out the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results. I'm sure guys aren't doing too well in this one so far. 76 of Ben Crouch is 38th, and the 80 machine of Julio Cesar is 23rd. So it's tough to win from that deep in the field here at Darlington. Even though we see a lot of passing at this track, you essentially have to start up front to have a shot at winning this race. Jordan Lopez, though, you have to even really see him on the racetrack. He won at Martinsville, I should say, about a month ago. It's hard to believe that actually was about a month ago when he won that STP Old Dominion 500. But he's looking for his second win of the season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, and he comes into this race 17th in points. So he's one of those guys, he doesn't need another win per se, because he's already got the win, so he's already thrown his hat into the ring of the wild card race. However, he is behind Ben Young by 2 points for that last transfer position at the time being. And of course, this is the halfway point of the regular season. You know, there are a lot of guys who have won races who have not been that consistent. We only have 2 drivers who have won races this season who are top 10 in points coming into this race. Everybody else is either uncharted. We have 2 uncharted winners so far this season, and all these other guys are behind in the wild card battle. So it's going to be interesting. And keep in mind, the wild card battle is the top 2 guys in points who have wins. It's not the amount of wins you have. It's as long as you have a win, you're part of that wild card battle, and it's the top 2 guys in points who have wins outside the top 10 who make it into the chase. So you still have to be consistent to win that wild card. You can have 5 wins, but if you're 35th in points, you're not going to make the chase. But if you have 1 win and you're 11th in points, you will make the chase. That's how it works. So we'll have to see how this all plays out throughout the season. It looks like these times have solidified out, and Jordan Lopez looking pretty good to possibly win this pole. Now, we could see some guys come off the pit lane with fresher tires and possibly have a run for this top time. But it's difficult for these guys usually to get back out there with all these cars on the racetrack especially and get that good time that they're looking for. Brett Sierra there on the 12 to the inside of Durrani. They gotta be careful around this place sometimes. Like I said, you know, we tend to not have too many cautions here at Darlington, but sometimes when we do wreck, it's pretty big. That's all I gotta say. A lot of opportunities tomorrow for these guys. We really don't know what to expect in terms of who's going to be good here, especially even with these guys where they're starting. I definitely would imagine you want to be starting top 20 for this race, probably, to have a good shot at winning here at the Darlington Raceway. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But still, the top 10 the same as it has been the past few minutes, so it's looking like Jordan Lopez is probably going to win this pole for the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. Good run for Fitzwater, though. That outside lane isn't particularly where you want to start here. 1 and 2 are very, very tough to drive on that outside lane. You're going to see Ace Garcia here tap the outside walls, actually trying to get a run there on that outside of Daniel McMillan, but 1 and 2 is pretty much impossible to work, especially on worn tires, but you can't get that outside lane to work through 3 and 4. And that's what makes this place very unique. Essentially, the preferred line is the outside in 3 and 4, but it's the inside that's the preferred line in 1 and 2. So we're just gonna have to see how it all goes down. That's all I know. That's all I know what to say anymore. We're just gonna have to see how it all goes. Hey, Brock Nelson just went to 8th. That's one guy who went down the pit lane, got some fresh tires, and moved up through the field. Good run there for Brock Nelson in the 51. And he just went back up to 5th. So he's got some fresh tires, and he's moving his way through the field right here. I think somebody else also... No. No, it's the same... essentially the same top 10. Owen Miles now goes down to 11th. But Brock Nelson definitely putting down some fast times. We're going to have to see if he can, in fact... Now he's going to come down the pit. Actually, he's got to avoid this spin by Sam at Oskin. That's going to end his chances of advancing his time, but still good job out of Brock Nelson late in the session, getting a good run there. That, especially on the inside lane there, starting in 5th. That's a great place to start. Ben Crouch just went to 10th. Good run there for the uncharted drivers in his 5th Cup race already. That's more than anybody else in terms of the hot seat. But there's Gatlin Downey. Last time we were here, he won the Southern 500 last year in the finale race. So watch out for Downey. He's starting 14th. Not a bad starting position for him. If he can get on the inside, that'd be even better for him. But watch out for Gatlin Downey in this one. He won here back in September. Jordan Lopez is looking pretty strong here, and this is definitely a guy who I would not be surprised to see get the victory here at Darlington. He could have a very good chance at going to victory lane for a second win of the season. We've yet to have a multi-time winner this season. And up until last week, we yet to have a team win 2 races, but American Motorsports fixed that when Logan Williams won to Kansas. Where is Jordan Lopez out there on the racetrack? Might not be on the racetrack. Can't find him anywhere. I know he's got to be somewhere. There he is. He is on the pit lane. All the way back there. But it looks like he is going to, in fact, win the pole here for this 59-lap race. Noon Eastern time tomorrow on AG Racing. And, of course, later today, we're going to have the Turkey Hill National Series here for a 30-lap dash. That's going to be a fun one. Even though it's a very short race, should be a fun one there for the Southwest Airlines 200 at 5 p.m. Eastern over on AG Racing. That's how the lineup for the South Carolina Education Lottery 400 tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Jordan Lopez, Zachary Fitzwater, top 2, and it looks like we do not... Oh, we got one tie. Julio Cesar, Jesse Turner. Of course, Turner's the full-time guy. He has a lot more points than Julio Cesar does, so Turner will start in the 26th position, and Cesar will start 27th. That is the only tie in the field. Other than that, that is how they will line up for tomorrow's 59-lap event. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Jordan Lopez for winning the pole here in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon Eastern time for the race on AG Racing. Thank you guys once again, and I will see you guys later.